Hi, I'm DJ Av, and we're just testing out some stuff. Basically, what this is Repro, which is the alpha version of a U-he plugin by U-he that is working on my ears Heckman. And this, I guess Repro means research project is under there. That's just my guess. And they just want to see what sounds more analog in terms of the filtering and how it's going to work and whatnot in terms of how they're gonna develop their synth in the future, I believe. So we're just looking at that as you probably look at my dog fall asleep, and as I am too. But anyways, messing with the filters of one. I'm gonna turn drone mode on to constantly play sound. To me, one is more harsh. It has more frequency content. That sounds a little bit more unforgiving, like analog. But these are natural opinions. Of how you would hear, because everybody's ears aren't going to be the same. So, and for those who just want to know where this is at, and this is at KBR. We're testing stuff out here at KBR. Chopping it up and seeing what sounds like what. And just demoing this stuff. So, two is okay. Two has a little less harmonic frequency content in it, especially in the high and mid-high frequency content. It sounds a little duller. It doesn't have as much, which could work for some people. It doesn't necessarily. They're pretty interesting. For five. Five seems a little more subtle. I need to stop saying a little more. It sounds more subtle than one, but I really like one. I like the fact that to me, having the harshness of a filter kind of works as a positive, more of a positive than not having it, because I would actually like to subtract harmonic content within using an EQ or something like that, versus having to try to add that frequency content later down the road. I mean, it's just the way I work in terms of sound design, but it could be different for other people. I don't know. I'm just messing with stuff, but one thing I do want to comment on is if you look, you can see how. I mean, I've yet to ever see something that pure come from the oscillator at the studio. And you really can see what waveform is what and how it flows. So that kind of speaks about it is. And for those who look at, you can see one cut off. I'm gonna switch to 2, and I'm looking. I mean, there's no subtle visual. From looking at it from the oscilloscope. So it's really hard to tell. Just listening to it is probably the best way, anyways. But obviously, because it's sound. But the resonance sounds crazy. You can actually hear the difference of the filters once you add a little bit of a notch, a bell to the low filter, the low pass filter. 5 sounds so rude. I mean, judging from this or whatnot, and you're just wondering what I'm doing. I'm listening to see. Wow, that's better. But I'm listening to see like the subtleness of like this modeling of the filtering. You know, because when you actually, for those who don't know, analog gear is not always consistent, especially when it's older. You know, when older gear gets around it, you never get the same performance from it. And this is kind of true if you actually listen to this waveform after I finish talking about, you know, you can hear how it changes. Now that's true to the form of true analog in a sense. You know, I mean, yeah, it has very. But anyways, analog gear in general, it is not very consistent. As stuff gets hot, you know, transistors start blowing out. The parts of the chipset just wear and tear, you know, and those are the things that, you know, when you're working on a computer or whatnot, you don't necessarily have to worry about your software doing those same things unless they're trying to emulate it, much like Repro is trying to do. Which I do feel that this is actually doing a pretty decent job of having instant consistencies. And you see the strong CPU hit up there at the top, which I believe yours Hickman actually warned us about anyways. You know, so you do have to have a lot of memory. I have 16 gigs of RAM in my laptop, and I think at this point of the juncture, it might be time to have 32, which unfortunately this laptop will not ever do because it doesn't support up to 32 gigabytes of RAM. Unfortunately, but well, you know, whatever. And it's in mono poly mode, just much like a regular sense of this nature would be like anyways. And on top of that, if we had more polyphonies in here, it would probably be impossible to play this on the computer, especially, well, on this laptop for that matter. Give or take that my laptop actually has very good specs for music production. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and turn that sound off. I know y'all just like, oh, it's just. But yeah, just want to talk about the science of sound and whatnot. But my personal favorite, and this is just personal opinion, I like one. But all of the filter models actually have very different, unique characteristics that I can respect and love. So yeah, try this out. Go to, you know, the link in the description box and see for yourself. But I'm just doing the random test. I'm DJ Av, and I am out of here. Thank you so much.